TV so any episode for your woman in our cover Eddie about channel yes so open our number one channel ebema all the political issues, all the political stories they are and then I make for the Points TV Eddie Amao. Mess also be subscribe to YouTube channel na face so like video no Eddie Amame. Share my for free be share na fi for comment brand so e wo comment section ho and no more. And some be ACC e wo Ghana ye politics say ye NPP say ye NDC. Ni nyina no yaboabo ano ayede e bro. Meso nyabotre ene adaje video bi etwagu ensem no akwako ye henyan e wo man Ghana mu ase amafo ekabi nyabotre na afi ye nkonkohwe video no emra
deliberately concocted well established scheme fueled by tribalistic sentiments of Akufo-Addo against indigenous bank owners, orchestrated by Ken Ofori-Atta. That I know the finance minister, who have just started work, after budget and all of that. So as soon as he was appointed, they started with the economic dialogue as a pillar. They finished that budget was prepared. We just finished budget. Parliament just went on recess. World Bank is in Ghana. He's meeting them and all of that. So I'm sure that concurrently with the Bank of Ghana itself, which are just the governor. So just tell me. I'm just saying that the governor is about 1 month old in office. All right. So all those things. Right. So
just when I mentioned the issue, just tell me yes or no whether you've looked into it. Illegal printing of money.
Bank of Ghana.
Is it a yes or is it a no?
Some investigations are on, but I'm not too sure.
National Cathedral scandal.
You are aware that the Minister of Local Government, all agencies are doing investigations.
COVID-19 expenditure scandal.
They are doing it. BNI is doing it.
PDS.
So the subsidiary crime of PDS is the containers.
Okay.
So that these containers will lead us into PDS where Gabi, Keligajepu, and all of them would have to be drawn in. Now, the smaller version of it is the missing of the containers, which involved Dubik, Apenyo Markins, and Napo, and then all the officials at ECG. So after this is done, then we'll now look at what led to the breakdown of management at ECG. It's PDS, then those ones can come in. So it's ongoing.
Ejapa,
I'm not too sure, but I may not know. No. If it has started.
So that's a no. So SML,
this one.
I think that's a yes because yes, the OSP had initiated ambulance spare parts deal.
It's the Minister of Health
is looking into that.
No, it's part of these things that Oral had done some work on, and okay, so Oral have done some extensive work.
Yeah,
that file has been given to the Minister for Attorney General, who is reviewing and doing all processes on it.
13th African Games.
Part of oral report.
Skytrain, Pualugu, Masset, distribution.
The board chairman was recently arrested. So
Sputnik V.
Yes.
Boss scandal.
Yes.
All those have been looked into already. I see. We can't wait to hear a little bit.
I can't wait for us to start arresting them though. I cannot wait. I want to see them being arrested. I want to see every one of President Akufo-Addo's appointees who have stolen from this country being arrested, and they will be arrested. In fact, 20% of Ghanaians who voted for us, who are not NDC, who are not the 20% of the 47. What percentage did we get again?
In terms of what percentage?
Our total vote, 50-something%.
Yeah, about 58%.
A chunk of the people who voted for us are waiting for us to imprison or arrest persons who have stolen from this country. Okay, so
and you think you're living up to that expectation?
When the government fully establishes, you will see action in this town. You will see real action when government fully establishes. Right now, when you arrest them, you go to CID department, they have packed the place with NPP people. You go to all over the place, NIB, it hasn't been properly, we are dealing with all of these other crimes jointly with national security. So by the time we fully kick off, everybody will be brought. So that objective is a national one. It's not President Mahama's objective. It's a national interest, including the grassroots of MPP. Because all the information we have had came from the MPP grassroots.
I see.
Who tell us that this minister has stolen this minister has put this property in his girlfriend's name.
You're getting the information
This minister has stolen a car and parked it here. This minister have bought this property, but it's in the name of this person. All from MPP grassroots members. So this objective, this drive, it's not just a thing of NDC. It's not a thing of myself sitting here. It's the whole country believing that there is evidence to suggest that there's some stealing have gone on, and persons who have seemed to have been engaged in this should be brought to book.
So, in terms of your 120-day social contract, we're still counting down to that 120 days. How many of the 26 promises do you think that you have achieved?
I will sum it to say that I'm very proud that I'm serving under President Mahama. I mean, if you know my views, I'm not saying this because I'm NDC or I'm an appointee of government. What is right is right. This country have actually been relief of lychee individuals who, like vultures, feed on the carcass of our country and they dissipate national resources. I think the country has been freed from that pressure. I also see a solid foundation that is being laid. I'm not saying that the problem of the ordinary Ghanaian post-December have been resolved.
I mean, Mustafa, I've heard that. But what I'm asking is very much direct. You gave us 26 promises. How many of those promises do you think you have?
Almost all of it have been achieved.
Almost all?
Almost.
But
so today, within 3 months, you should be happy because of the exigencies and the need of this country. Within 3 months, a government is 80% formed. So would one expect that we just read a budget, okay? The economy is crushed, totally crushed. The finance minister is required to, kick in fiscal policies and measures to lay a foundation on which the government will move. So even though budget have been read and Parliament have approved the budget, real funding hasn't gone to ministries and agencies. Number two, boards have not been, constituted yet.
But what's the holdback? Why can't the president appoint?
No, but I'm just saying that formation of government takes processes. And I have told you at least 3 past governments, the periods within which they formed government. And this President Mahama have used 3 months to shrink the periods to just 3 months. And we are going to the 4th month. And already you can see the positives of the government. I think that we should be happy without having the conversation to say, I know that we have a problem, a challenge of trust when it comes to luncheon and all the things that refer that.
I mean, so what you're telling the Ghanaian people is that because of the state of the country that the NDC inherited, that is why you're having to rebuild foundations for certain things.
We are laying a foundation, but with speed as compared to the past.
Yeah, but that's the point I'm making.
We have reached now, where we are now, you couldn't have gone past where we are.
What I'm saying is that the Ghanaian would question why, having been in a position for 8 years, having questioned and criticized the government during that period, and even proposed alternatives to the problems and how the government of the day was running it. When you get the opportunity to be in office, it's not now that you are going to lay foundation.
Yes, when you have good dreams, the execution of your dreams will have to be on the taxpayers' burden or responsibility. It means that there are some regulatory measures that you must respect to put in place. Without those measures in place, you cannot just go and say, I want to do Nkuku Nkiti. I am in power, so begin to do, It must come with some implementation structures. And without same, you cannot execute. But the speed at which we have come this far, that today the country already have full complement of 56 ministers and deputy ministers. The country has full complement, almost CEOs who are already doing, investigation at their various agencies. They are doing stock taking and all sort of things that have occurred in the past, just so we come up to speed with what have happened in the previous government, then we start all other things. You should be happy that we are where we are now. But you see, the government that will not perform, you will see it out of its formation. We have had the past where the president stood in front of the cameras and told you, oh, Kano Foriata, he is schooled in Yale. He is this. He is intelligent. And one way, because did he come from heaven? Were there no human beings who were at the Ministry of Education who foresaw the implementation of the free SHS, under which we have scandals of ghost names, teachers who are taking money from the state, but you can't find the schools they teach, okay? The scandals as far as feeding the students are concerned, all of this one was happening. ICT, they said free internet in secondary schools. Individuals were being paid, but yet there was no single internet in any secondary school. But today, you see Harun Adusu reviewing all of these things for the betterment of free SHS, if it is that, and our educational system in general. And you think that this is not a government that is assuring. And I just told you under Minister of Agric, you saw and experienced 8 years of a scam called Planting for Food and Jobs, a Ponzi scheme. Today you have seen, within 3 months, a launch of Feed Ghana. By 3 months, 90 days or 100 days government have launched this. And that government is not assuring. You have a government that have come to meet, structured, incentivized crimes. And the government is fighting and exposing these crimes. And you think it's not reassuring? Today, you, a journalist, can criticize a government and you can go and sleep freely without having to be worried that some person is coming to kill you. And you are thinking that under that president is not assuring, when in the last 100 days under President Akufo-Addo, you can't go and talk about him without having to be worried about who is coming after you. Under President Akufo-Addo, business people, ordinary Ghanaians doing their business, cannot be guaranteed that their proposals will give them business because somebody is busy trying to empower his clan. Today, President Mahama says, I'm for all Ghanaians. And you think that is not assuring in 100 days. I am very persuaded, and I know, and we are going to help President Mahama to succeed. Each time a government misbehaves, our laws are such that the president goes to sit in the house and usually is free. Okay? But thousands and millions of the ordinary Ghanaian are displaced. So we should not be in the game of competing how many scandals have come out and how many things have we heard, but the quality of it. How reassuring are these policies, the feasibility of it. MPP under President Akufo-Addo. And in the first 100 days, we are confronted head-on with Galamsey crisis as a government. They issued over 2,000 mining leases to people to mine both in the forest reserve, but they failed to supervise.
Before they left office?
Yes, they failed to supervise whether or not mining was done well, reclamation was being done, water bodies were destroyed, forest reserves were destroyed, without any policy to react. What happened to President Akufo-Addo's policy of Green Ghana? We will come there one day and you will see the money they took for planting trees. Now, here we are today. When we started in 90 or 100 days fighting illegal mining, soldiers have been unleashed into the forest to protect our forest. MPP then comes to say, oh, they are burning excavators.
Mustafa, you're moving real fast. They are
burning excavators.
We'll talk about some of the issues that face this country before you came into office, what you plan to do with it, and what you have been able to do with it so far. But when we come back, I will ask you when assurances will move into action, because from all that you have told me, nothing is disrupting. We're seeing
the case, both large scale and small scale, obeying the rules of Environmental Protection Agency. Now, when you do that, government will support you to do your work. And gold board have been structured to regulate the processes of gold.
So that's one foundation. How would you say your serious efforts are going?
That's within 3 months. So let me tell you, Now, the soldiers are going in there to free our forests, which may be inhabiting terrorists, may be inhabiting bad people and all of that. They are going to free that forest to make sure that Ghanaians are happy and our life is protected. MPP people are complaining, oh, NDC people, why are they burning machines? Why are they doing this? Look, we are not just going to end there. Mm-hmm. There will be a follow-up, and the Minister of Interior, Honorable Mutaka Mubarak, announced very visibly that foreigners who engage in these crimes, who President Akufo-Addo and his appointees have used to destroy forest reserves on a large scale, if you are caught mining illegally, you will be, taken out of the country, deported. Mm-hmm. We are also going to make sure that if it was you, Kamini, who mined in this spot and left the holes there, you'll be arrested and given a period of time to go and reclaim, or you go to jail.
Right.
That is coming. That is a bold solution to something that is confronting all of us. Without necessarily looking at political colors.
As of today,
yes.
What impact have those efforts had on our water bodies, on our environment, in dealing with illegal mining?
3 months. These things, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources is not 2 months in office, so to speak. He is not yet 2 months in office. But these are stakeholder engagements are ongoing, action is ongoing, and all of that. Education, public engagement is also ongoing with civil society, taking stock of brainstorming and how all of us can get involved to deal with this. As compared to a government that issued over 2,000 licenses.
So it's too soon to measure impact.
Yes, and failed to supervise and ensure responsible mining. We are talking about a 3 months old government. On the other side, we are talking about a government that allowed people to mine in the forest reserves without ensuring that they reclaim and reforestate.
But the same thing is happening
under
the same thing. Administration.
No, I'm just saying that it's happened.
And it's still happening.
It's continuing, but you are seeing a measure to combat.
No, we are not seeing any measure, because the promise was that you will ban illegal and mining activities in forest reserves.
Yes.
And you haven't achieved that. Parliament hasn't passed.
Let me explain this to you. In the past, it was free for all. MPP people went to Chinese businessmen, borrowed money, all right, to do their campaign. Allow them to come and mine in our forest reserves. That is not a problem. Mm-hmm. The problem is that when you mine in a forest, after mining, you reclaim and plant trees. Go and check. They didn't do all of that. It was the role of appointees of President Akufo-Addo, i.e., Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, 2, Environmental Protection Agency, and the Minerals Commission to ensure responsible mining. 8 years we've seen these devastating destruction that have been caused. 3 months in office, we are already taking some measures. I'm not saying that.
I was for video no any akwa no what mu ensem wo hu de ekoso e wo man Ghana mu a dani brenyina ade achi ade sa no ensem bebre ekoso e wo Ghana ye politics no mu NPP NDC CPP and our face political parties no nyina no e ho ensem e wo ase aha e na obenya ni nyina message so subscribe to your YouTube channel no e de amaye the Point TV so ni medawase.